me if you want to live. You just don't turn it off!
Under the guidance of Rocky Balboa, newly crowned heavyweight champion Adonis Creed faces off against Victor Drago, the son of Ivan Drago. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. You're watching Backtrack Cinema, where we talk about movies of the past that you know and love. And welcome to my Creed 2 review, guys. Creed 2, man, I think we all knew this film was coming. We all knew it was going to be Adonis versus Drago kind of movie. It's a perfect compendium with Rocky 4. You can go from Rocky 4 right to Creed 2. So hit me up in the comments before we get started. Let me know what you think of Creed 2. Let me know that you like this movie. Don't you like it? Let's have a great discussion on Creed 2 and we'll talk about it, man. So Creed 2 was released in 2018, directed by Stephen Caple Jr. and starring Sylvester Stallone, Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, Felicia Rashad, and Dolph Lundgren. So I really like what this movie is. I really like that it's the themes of father and son relationships. This is a great Father's Day movie. And still playing in that Rocky sandbox. It still has an uplifting nature at the end of the film. And we all knew this was coming. You all knew this was coming. If you're going to do a thing on Apollo Creed's son, introducing Ivan Drago and his son Victor was just, I guess, the next progression in this. And they explore all the different relationships of father and sons. That's what I like. We got, you know, the relationship between Rocky and his son Robert, where Robert's moved away. He hasn't talked to his son in a long time. We find out that Rocky has a grandson. He hasn't even met him yet. You know, wasn't there when he was born. We got Ivan Drago and his son Victor, where Ivan Drago's son grew up in a world of hate and fighting, trying to bring back the glory to Russia, bring back the championship, you know, and Victor Drago, Ivan Drago's father-son relationship is toxic because his son's just been used as a pawn to bring back this glory. And, you know, the mother walked away from Ivan Drago. Ivan Drago's basically an embarrassment to the country of Russia. And then we have, you know, Adonis and Apollo Creed, you know, never meeting Apollo Creed. Adonis gets the championship. He's the champion now. He wins at the beginning of this movie, but trying to live up to that, you know, he doesn't feel like he's the champ. This movie has the Rocky 3 and a Rocky 4 vibe blended into one another. Adonis goes through this fear and being lost because he takes this fight against Ivan Drago's son. He loses badly. Not that he was overly confident or he didn't know who he was facing, but his head wasn't in the right space. There's a little bit of overconfidence, but really just didn't understand that who he was fighting really. And Rocky tried to tell him, you know, this kid was just born in hate and has nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And then we find Adonis after being very lost, just like Rocky and Rocky 3, with this have a lot of fear, but his fear was, you know, not being able to do what his dad did, not being able to live up to being the champ. And I like how you get the exposition of Marianne Creed saying, you know, your father never felt like that either. I like how you get inside Apollo Creed's head a little bit. Other stuff going on with Adonis where he gets married, he's got a baby on the way, and when his daughter's born, Amara, she inherits this not being able to hear at all. So, you know, there's this added weight emotionally. I like how they show the brutality of boxing in this. I mean, Adonis gets fucked up. I mean, Victor Drago just lays him out, man. He's like a pawn and he's, you know, he breaks him. He's told to fight dirty and all that, but still ruptured kidneys, freaking broken ribs, all this kind of stuff. And you just see that brutality when he's healing and he's pissing blood and he's just, oh, it's crazy, man. And even at the end fight, the way it's shot is really, really well when, you know, you get a lot of this point of view shots that I really like where you're seeing what Adonis would be seeing, these punches being thrown at him. And when the slow-mo, when he hits him in the nose and you just see the blood spray up. So just that real brutality of everything.
He has left in the tank. Drago working the body.
And I will tell you, the most interesting part in this film is the Victor and Ivan Drago storyline. I mean, I I don't think that's supposed to be the most interesting part. That's what I mean. Like, this is more interesting than what's going on with Rocky and Adonis. And I would love to see a spin-off of these two. You know what I mean? Victor and Ivan Drago. I thought Dolph came back, played this character great. He still has a great intimidating factor. When him and Rocky first meet, he shows up at the restaurant, they did a really good job at building tension in that. And, Ivan's saying, people love you in this country. Basically, I'm an embarrassment to mine. You know what I mean? There's a bad past between these guys, right? And it's like all this crap that happened with Apollo and Rocky and all the lives that's been affected has been bleeded onto Adonis and this, son, Ivan's son, Victor. I just love how Rocky brings this knowledge. Adonis wasn't listening to him the first time and saying, your style does not work against a guy like this. And he's like, well, yours does. He goes, I won, didn't I? I love that. Rocky shots that in there, man. And how he teaches him to drop fear through pain. Let's get into that training montage. I mean, like the one for the final fight here where he brings Adonis down to a warmer climate, and he's got him, he's breaking the kid's ribs, man.
That's the fight it's going to be, toe to toe. Get used to it.
Box. Take it to the body.
Like he's breaking his hands, his ribs, teaching him that you're gonna go through freaking hell. You know what I mean? Rocky has been there, and how he teaches him how to fight toe-to-toe with someone. So he puts them in a tire and the other guy's in a tire. They can't move. You have to learn how to defend and fight the center of the ring against a guy like this. Like, your style's not going to work. And I just love how he repeatedly gets his ribs broke and he's healing. And it's just like Rocky's tough on him in this, but in a very loving way. But it's a great training montage. It may be my favorite training montage out of all the Creed films, and all the character arcs are complete. Let's go through all of them. First with Rocky, this is the send-off to Rocky. Still, Rocky Balboa is the best ending, I think, out of all of these. But when Creed wins this fight against Drago, this is Rocky's send-off saying, it's your time now. Rocky goes to be with his son. So you see him meet up with Robert, and I thought this was a pretty touching scene where Rocky meets his grandson, Logan. He sees Robert, gives Robert a hug. And I just love Stallone's performance. Like Stallone's the heart of this whole freaking thing, man. He brings it every time. I just love how he goes, you look just like his mother. And it almost brings tear to your eyes because this little kid looks just like Adrian. It's so good, man. And him and Robert, they hug it out. And it's just awesome. It's great seeing Rocky with his family. I'll admit, I love that. I really did like that. And during this final fight, we seen, Adonis knock it out Drago's son. And Drago's son won't go down. He has too much heart. He keeps getting back up, where he can barely stand. And I love that Ivan Drago throws the towel in. This was such a great character arc. He killed Apollo years earlier. Rocky never throws the towel in. Here's a guy who killed Apollo, throws the towel in for his son, gives up on the glory of Russia. That's his son there. And meanwhile, the fucking bitch, the Bridget Nielsen from the first movie sees that her son is losing this fight and just walks away. All about the glory and the status of Russia. And, I just love that Ivan throws that towel in, tells his son, it's okay. It's okay. Finally, he was there for his son. So it's a great character arc with them. And at the end of it all, you see them running together in the streets of Ukraine and stuff like that. I love it. I love it, man. That's the best part of the movie. That's the best ending of the movie. Other than Rocky meeting up with his son, that was good. And Adonis coming to Apollo's grave and saying, I love you, Pops. And, I just want to let you know I did it. I did it I made my own legacy. I did everything my way, without being in your shadow and stuff like that. And they're just great character arcs all around. Great character arcs. And again, with this franchise, why do they delete the best shit and leave it on the cutting room floor? I don't get it. None of the scenes that were cut would have affected this movie at all. I thought it was, they're great. Spider Rico has died. And Rocky gives this hugely at his funeral, and there's like no one there. The dude's just died pretty much alone. And the speech Rocky gives is absolutely amazing, and it has to do thematically with the father-son relationships. I don't know why it wasn't in there. It's a beautiful scene, so you should definitely check it out.
I remember you saying that you had this daughter, but you couldn't remember where she lived because of all the shots you'd taken. I get that. So, me and the cooks, we become like your family.
We got another scene with Rocky training a bunch of kids at the gym, which I think is almost a tidbit. I like, maybe we should do this with Rocky. Maybe Rocky 7 should be, let's Cobra Kai Rocky. Teaching kids, maybe another rival gym, that stuff. That was a pretty good scene. It was short. It was sweet. There's a nice little scene between Adonis and Bianca at the restaurant that's a bit extended. And one of the best scenes is where Adonis talks to Victor Drago after the fight, you know, and kind of just tells him, you know, I know how you feel, stuff like that. And then Rocky and Drago, Ivan Drago, have one stare at each other. And Rocky's like, you know, it's all done. They don't say anything, but you know what they're saying. It's like, you know, you did the right thing. And Ivan, like, this kind of gives him a nod of respect. You know what I mean? That was imperative. Why was that cut? I have no fucking clue. I have no clue. That's the weirdest thing about this, about the Creed movies, is they leave the best stuff on the cutting room floor, and I don't get it at all. I'm going to give Creed from 2018 a solid B. But what about you guys? Let me know in the comments below what you think of Creed 2, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Go down the rabbit hole, check out all the other Rocky reviews and all that kind of stuff. Enjoy the channel. You know, share the videos, all that kind of stuff. I would really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you guys watching this review. My name is Jason. This is Backtrack Cinema. I will see you next time, and I will see you in the movies. Cheers.